All right, friends, and welcome to week 1. This is lecture 5. I want you to look at the last 2 slides here with me. Slide 1. All right, the first slide I want you to look at is embrace the opportunity. I think challenge sows the seeds for opportunity for us to innovate, to think differently about what we do. I think we can go from protecting the status quo to disruption, because disruption may be the very thing that moves us out of equilibrium and into this place where we are willing to evoke a sense of creativity and innovation in our midst. I think we need to move from stagnant, way we've always done, to a more nimble adaptability, exploring ways that we haven't done things. From safe to innovation. Now that's going to be a challenge for us because we are conditioned to think risk management, but innovation takes risks. And I want to say that in these complex, chaotic times, the church is called to some form of innovation, adaptability, and risk. And this is military terminology, from rear detachment to scout. Rear detachment, those are the people that are at the way back of the army. They're the ones that are bringing up the rear, and a lot of our churches are bringing up the rear. The scouts are the ones who go out first. They're the ones that lean out. They're the ones that are taking fire before anyone else. And we need to have the courage to be scout churches and scout leaders who go out in front of the pack to see and to clear the land. Think about Joshua and Caleb. They were scouts. They went into the land with the 12, and they saw the opportunity when everyone else saw crisis. We want to move from performance to equipping. Too much of our churches are based upon the content we create on Sunday mornings and the performance that happens on a Sunday morning. We need to move into a mindset of equipping, where we take the challenge of really shaping and forming disciples to be able to be sent out into the world. We need to move from being technicians, where everything we do is about the technical application of methodology, to artists, where we begin to paint pictures for people, where they get caught up in the compelling vision of what God is up to. We need to see the church not as a castle with a moat around it, where people have to enter in through the gate that we let down, to being a missional outpost out there in a clearing for that goes out where people are, where the brokenness is found, where the hurting is found. We need to move from being consumers and consumption to participation. Our people need to get off the bench and realize that God has crafted them uniquely to serve his purposes. And we need to move our mindset from set apart to our holy huddles to being enculturated into the very nature of our context where we find ourselves in, because we want the good news that we speak to bear out in relevant ways all around us to the people that we come across every single day. In order for any of all of this to happen, it takes us to our last slide. We have to commit to the uncomfortable work of growth. Now, many of you have seen this diagram, this comfort zone diagram. The comfort zone is where we feel safe and control. The fear zone is where many of us find ourselves living in the church right now. But you have taken a step into the learning zone. The learning zone is where we begin to acquire new skills, extend and expand what we believe our horizon to be, so that we can live into this growth zone. And growth zone is where we are constantly nimble enough to act upon the dreams that God is birthing in our lives, and we can move forward in meaningful ways. I want you to take this growth journey with me. I want you to lean in with me and commit to this journey. Now, the last piece of this week is you're going to spend some time listening to an interview between me and Dr. Mark Fresius on the early church. You're going to hear about how the early church became a movement. And it's a long interview. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And I know that's long. None of the other ones are as long, but he shares some amazing information. So between the two of us, it's not too bad when you think about it. Between the two of us, you have about 1.5 hours to 2 hours worth of lecture time over the course of about 2.5, 3 days. So I want to encourage you to lean in, to listen. Take this in chunks, digest it as you can, but let's commit to growing together and really leaning into what God has for us this week.